welcome to my channel. I wanted to do a video about one of my favorite skincare products, which is Retinoid, and just kind of share with you what I've learned and what's worked best for me, my do's and don'ts, just while using this product. I've been using Retinoid now for about a year and a half, and I've really been loving the results. I have done quite a bit of research on it. I've also spoken to different dermatologists about it, just try to get their opinion, and just through time, just try to make note of what has worked best for my skin while using this product. So if you want to know more about that, please keep watching. So first, let's start with what is a retinoid. Retinoid is the blanket term used for all vitamin A derivatives. So that would include retinol, retinol ester, which are over-the-counter versions of a retinoid, all the way through to retinoic acid, which is tretinoin, which are prescription versions of a retinoid. The term sometimes is used interchangeably, but really when you're talking about retinol, you're talking about retinoid. When you're talking about retinoic acid, it's still a retinoid. So they're all retinoids. That's just a blanket term that is used for all of the different variations. I have been using Retinol, which is the over-the-counter version of retinoid. So it is a bit weaker, and I just wanted to start low. I mean, that is best to start low and just kind of build your skin's tolerance to the different versions of a retinoid. So over the counter, you can start at a 0.3% in strength, and then it goes to a 0.5%, and then it goes to a 1.0% in strength. I started with a 0.5, and I'll go into all the details of how I use the, what to do, what not to do, but I just wanted to kind of give you an introduction. So I started with a 0.5 just to build up my skin's tolerance. What is a retinoid good for? What are the benefits of using it? So first, it can help with collagen production. As we get older, our skin's production of collagen starts to decrease, and we start seeing our skin getting a bit saggier. We start seeing the fine lines. So retinoid has been known to help promote collagen production with consistent use. Secondly, it can help with the clogged pores in your skin. So what that means is it helps keep your pores clean, and this will make them look tighter and smaller. Now, I just want to mention, it does not make your pores smaller. No product can actually reduce the size of your pores. The size of your pores is the size of your pores. But if they are clean and they are not clogged, they can appear tighter because they are not clogged. So when your pores are clogged, they seem to really stand out. You can really notice them, but when they're clean, you don't see them as much. They seem smaller. So it helps with clogged pores. Next, it also helps with acne and acne-related scarring. It can help with your skin retaining more hydration and making it look plumper. And lastly, it can also help with textured skin. So I sometimes have like little bumps on my skin, and when I touch my skin, it just doesn't feel smooth. So with consistent use, it can help with the texture of your skin. And actually, lastly, it also can help with hyperpigmentation, so the dark spots in your skin. So those are some of the benefits of using a retinoid. So when should we start using a retinoid? Well, the rule of thumb is our mid-20s, because that's when we start seeing some decrease in our collagen production and decrease in our skin elasticity. So our skin starts to sag a little bit and we start seeing some more fine lines. So the rule of thumb is it's best to start in your mid-20s. Now, I started in my mid-30s, so I really lost a good chunk of time there between my mid-20s and my mid-30s where I could really do some damage control on the anti-aging front. But you know what? It's better late than never. So even if you're in your 40s and you haven't started, it's a good idea to start, because I have noticed some great changes in my skin. So I'm definitely glad that even though I started in my mid-30s, I'm still happy that I started using it, because my skin texture, my fine lines, the plumpness in my skin, those have increased. So really happy about that. The thing with a retinoid is you have to use it consistently. So you can't just use it, use it for a few weeks consistently, and then you just stop for a few weeks and then you start again and you stop again. You have to be consistent to see results. This can't be like a once in a while you pick it up and then you put it down and then you pick it up again. It's got to be consistent, just like brushing your teeth, because if it's not consistent you won't see the results. So it's really important to use it consistently. Slow and steady wins the race. It's a waiting game with retinoids, but worth it. Some of the do's of using a retinoid. So do make sure that you start with a low grade retinoid. So you can start with like a over-the-counter retinol. Those start at a 0.3% strength and build up to a 0.5%, all the way to a 1.0%. I started with a 0.5% because you want to start building your skin's resistance to it. And that takes some time. So start with a low grade one and build it up from there. So start with that, using it a couple of times a week, and build it from there. See how your skin reacts. Secondly, make sure you cleanse your skin before you apply the retinoid to your skin. So make sure your skin is clean, squeaky clean, and then you can apply your retinoid. Now, one thing to mention there, if you have sensitive skin, make sure that your skin is bone dry. Like you wipe it with a towel or pat it with a towel, pat it dry, and then wait some more. It should be like totally dry to the touch before you apply your retinoid. And this is because when your skin is damp, the retinoid will be absorbed deeper in your skin and the retinoid will work harder for you, which can irritate your skin more. So key piece here, wait till your skin is bone dry, then put on your retinoid and then put on your moisturizer. Speaking of moisturizer, do make sure you have a good moisturizer that you can use on top of your retinoid. You want to make sure you moisturize your skin because it can be irritating. You want to put some of that moisture back into your skin when you're using a retinoid. Another big do, make sure that you wear sunblock. It's really important that you wear sunblock all the time. If you're gonna invest so much money and time in your skin and try to prevent it from aging, sunblock is the most important thing you can possibly put on your skin. So make sure you wear sunblock, especially if you're using a retinoid, because your skin will be more sensitive and you want to protect it from the sun. Another do is make sure you wear your retinoid at night. You put it on at night. The sun does deactivate it. I know that there are some retinoids that you can use during the day, but you know what? Just use it at night. Let it do its magic while you sleep. Another do is make sure you use a pea-size amount, especially when you start using it. And you can target certain areas. So let's say for me, mainly it's under my eyes here and here, but I do tend to use it on, I have some bigger pores around here on my nose, so I do use it there. So you can target certain areas if you want, or you can just dot it all over and just blend it into the skin. Some don'ts when it comes to retinoid use are, let's say you're just starting to use a retinoid. Do not get the strongest option, even if it is over the counter. Do not get the strongest option out there and apply it to your skin. Start with a low grade option. Like I'm using an over the counter retinol and I started with a 0.5, but if you have sensitive skin, there's a 0.3% option that you can start with and apply that a couple of times a week and just build your skin's tolerance to it. If you go balls to the wall, get the strongest you can get your hands on, even if it is over the counter, and apply a ton of it to your skin, you will irritate your skin and it can cause retinoid dermatitis, which is red, inflamed, flaky skin. And that is not cute for anyone. So just start low and slow. Next is number 2, don't. I do not exfoliate on nights where I apply my retinoid. So I exfoliate once a week, and it's usually on a night, it's always on a night where I do not apply my retinoid. The next don't, I would say, is don't use it every night. I don't use it every night. I apply it 3 times a week, and I'm using it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because you want to give your skin a break and you don't want to irritate it from using it every night. So I would recommend, if you're just starting out, use it twice a week, and start with maybe Monday and Thursday, and just build your skin's tolerance from there. And after a couple of weeks, after 2-3 weeks, maybe add another night in there. So maybe do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and see how your skin reacts. If it starts getting irritated, go back to twice a week, and just keep going. Give it another couple of weeks, and then try adding another night again. Sometimes if your skin gets super sensitive, maybe go down a grade. If you're using a 0.5% or a 1.0%, go down a grade. Maybe go down to a 0.3 if you're using a 0.5 and it's irritating you. So just really be mindful and see how your skin is reacting and adjust. And then the last thing I would say is that, for me, that's really important, is make sure when you're using your retinoid, don't use any other actives or chemical peels while you're using your retinoid. So for me, all I do when I'm on a night that I'm using a retinoid is I will apply my retinoid and then my moisturizer, and that is it. I do not apply anything else on my skin. I will sometimes apply some Vaseline around areas that do get a bit drier, especially in the winter, so like around my nose and then under my eyes, but that is it. So I really try to steer away from any other harsher chemical peels while I'm using a retinoid. So how do I use retinoid and apply it to my skin? So first, like I said, always on cleansed skin, I make sure that my skin is clean, pat it dry, and then I apply my retinoid. If your skin is sensitive, like I mentioned earlier, highly recommend you wait till it's bone dry, then apply your retinoid. But if your skin still reacts even to that, there's other options for you. You can always reduce the strength of retinoid that you are using. So let's say you're using a retinoid that's over the counter, so like a retinol, and it says 0.5% strength. You can go down to a 0.3% retinol and see how that is reacting with your skin. Another option you have is you can apply your moisturizer first to your cleansed skin, and then apply your retinoid on top of that. And this will cause, the moisturizer will cause a barrier, will create a barrier between your skin and the retinoid. So this will help with that skin inflammation, because the moisturizer will protect your skin a little bit more from the retinoid. Another option you have is you can always mix your retinoid with your moisturizer and apply it to the skin. So those are some of the ways you can apply it if you have sensitive skin. The way I apply it is you can target certain areas of your skin that you are more concerned about. Like for me, it's over here, like I have some fine lines here and under my eyes. So I make sure that I target these areas. Now for under my eyes, I don't go all the way to my lash line. I just put it all the way up to the bone here. And I don't put it over my eyelids. I just think that area, the skin is too sensitive, so I just don't want to fuss with it. Also, if you have dry areas on your skin, like your upper lip or around your mouth, I would stay away from those areas. Or you can do the layering effect. So you can first put your moisturizer on and then do the retinoid if you have fine lines around there but your skin is sensitive. So there are options to applying a retinoid to make sure that you do get the most effective use out of it. So in closing, I just wanted to recap some of the key points that I mentioned in this video. Number one, if you're just now starting to use a retinoid, make sure that you start with a lower grade option. So maybe something that's over the counter, maybe start with a lower option like a 0.3% and work your way up, build that skin tolerance. I am currently using the Retinol over the counter by SkinCeuticals, and this one is a 0.5% strength. I also have the 1.0%, which I have not started to use. Still working my way through my second tube of the 0.5 because I'm still trying to build that tolerance. Once I'm done with this tube, I will switch to the 1.0%. I know SkinCeuticals does have a 0.3% over-the-counter option as well, so maybe start with that. There are other, like L'Oreal has a retinol over-the-counter that starts at 0.3%. I will leave some of the over-the-counter options in the description box below, so please refer to that if you want to see some options. If you're just starting to use retinoid, make sure you don't use it every night. Start with twice a week, maybe start on a Monday and then use it again on a Thursday. Just give your skin a break and work on building that tolerance. Next, make sure you use a good moisturizer to moisturize your skin. Make sure you're using sunblock. Especially once you start using a retinoid, your skin will be more sensitive to the sun, so you want to make sure you're protecting your skin. And lastly, you got to remember this is a long-term investment in your skin. So you want to use it consistently. You want to make sure you have that consistency when it comes to using retinoid so you can see the results. It takes time. So for something like general skin improvements, it can take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. For acne improvements, it can take up to 12 weeks. And then for hyperpigmentation, which are the dark spots, it can take up to 6 months. And again, this is just average. It depends from person to person. So really give your skin time. Make sure you're consistently using it just to make sure you're seeing results. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And let me know down in the comments below your thoughts or if there's any videos that you would like me to do or any questions. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.